All right, hello everyone. My name is Yaro. I would like to briefly onboard you with a set of new features that we recently shipped to Pipl.ai. Um, these features are part of our built-in enrichment functional and aim to provide you with a tool set to truly personalize your outreach to every prospect, to every company, using a set of built-in features that we just shipped. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So this is the dashboard that you would typically see with your Pipl.ai account, and in order to access a set of new features, you will need to tap into one of your campaigns, and you will notice the new button called Enrich Leads. And this is all about how we approach adding more sales intelligence data into your list of prospects so that you can further utilize this data in your cold email campaigns. So let's say I have a list of 51 prospects in this case, and I have basic data points like their email address, their company name, the company website, the job title that the person is having. Of course, we have like their first name, last name, their location, and personal LinkedIn and the company LinkedIn data points. Now, what exactly can we do with these data? We just shipped this set of features, so it's just an MVP. And we will add more and more functional as we go back and forth. So the first thing that you can do with the list of prospects is obviously to scrape their website. In order to do that, any enrichment starts with clicking Add Column button here to the far right. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna select Scrape Website, and in order to properly scrape the company website, I would need to select where in our table we store the company URL. In this case, that's going to be company website. And here on the bottom, we can select what data points from the website we can scrape. So obviously, the entirety of company website goes without saying. We can also add meta title, meta description if available, and meta keywords if available to our list. And that workflow will basically execute the scraping task for all the prospects that we have in our list. We will start with running first 10 test rows so that we can make sure that the workflow works correctly and you're not getting charged for whatever errors that might appear during the enrichment process. And if any of the enrichments within this workflow fail, we will not charge you any credits whatsoever. And with this simple click of a button, the enrichment process starts for our first 10 rows. It will take some time to process, but you can already see the data appears from our target prospect websites directly importing into the enrichment table. This data contains all the, this column, for example, contains the entirety of the content that is available on a target URL. We also import titles of the website that you're scraping, the description, the meta description, and the keywords. Of course, in some cases, we won't be able to scrape the prospect website due to some technical issues, but overall, it's not an issue, and you're not going to be charged for any errors that appear during scraping. Now, with the fact that we made sure that the enrichment flow works, we can now go ahead and execute the same enrichment workflow for all the prospects that are available in your table, not just first 10. And in order to do that, I'm going to click this fancy play button at the top of the enrichment field and select run all rows that haven't run. And that will basically execute the workflow for all the prospects in our campaign. Now, in order to access the contents of the web scraping results, I can just go ahead and select expand button for any prospect and any enrichment result, and that will give me the entirety of the content scraped from the prospect website. Same applies to titles, same applies to descriptions, and same applies to keywords, of course, where available. So this is pretty neat, and you can already utilize this data in your outreach campaigns, personalizing your cold emails to whatever content found on the prospect website. Now, how exactly we gonna do that? For that purpose, we will utilize another enrichment, which is associated with AI workflow and our connection to ChatGPT. In order to do that, we'll just click Add Column and select Use AI. Now we can specify our prompt. Let's say we want to personalize our outreach based on the services mentioned on the website, or a product your prospects are working on or are selling. So you can as well create your own prompt, but there is also a set of templates that you can use. So, for example, we would go with noteworthy product or service, and that will bring this prompt template directly to the field. Highlight a key product or service mentioned on their website. Here we will insert the info that we just scraped, so website content. We'll pass it as a token to the ChatGPT task, and we'll ask AI to generate a brief sentence showcasing genuine interest, starting with something like your innovative approach to, etc. I would replace that with I recently browsed your website and noticed through a website and noticed that. All right. And from there on, you can just click on save and run first 10 rows. There are some settings that you can utilize to further tune the results that ChatGPT is giving us back, like a creative temperature. Business account users can also use their own open API key, so that we will not charge you Pipl.ai credits for running this workflow. Let's start with that, and just like that, we will generate first line icebreakers to our prospects that we can use in our campaign. And then we can literally pass this AI result field as a data point to our sequence, so that we will take this data and paste it directly into the sequence. So there is a short sentence that will highlight that we did our homework, that we did our research while reaching out to our prospects. Of course, you can fine-tune your prompts to bring more robust, more natural results, but this is a good starting point for you to personalize your campaigns. And of course, in order to go through the entire list and execute the entire AI workflow, you would need to click on this play button on the associated workflow and select run all rows that haven't run yet. And that will execute the personalization workflow for all of your entries in this specific prospect list. Now, there are a couple more capabilities that we recently shipped. Let's talk about that. So along with scraping website, we can also scrape the LinkedIn URL. Let's do that. Inside of scraping LinkedIn URL, you will see 4 different options. We are able to scrape a personal LinkedIn URL, bringing data points like their headline, about section, followers. It's not limited to it. We can also scrape the company URL to bring you tagline, description of the company, industry they operate in, among with a couple other data points that we will touch upon a bit later in the video. We can also scrape the profile, the personal profile, and search for the recent post of that person, so that you can use that post in the AI workflow once again to personalize your outreach based on the most recent post of your prospect. And of course, we can do the same for the company posts. Let's go ahead and try to scrape the personal URL and see what kind of data you can expect from this workflow. To do that, we will just select the personal URL scraper. We will go ahead and select the column in the list where that stores personal URLs of your prospects. In our case, that's going to be a custom LinkedIn profile field, and we're going to click on save and run first 10 rows. As you can see, the workflow has already started. It will briefly scrape all the information that is available within your prospects, and it will automatically bring you results like their headline, like the personal about section, and of course how many followers this or that person has on LinkedIn. It's not limited just to these results. In order to access more results, you would just need to click on this plus button, and from here on you will be able to select whatever data points we scraped to be added to the spreadsheet to be used further in your enrichment and personalization workflow. So for example, you can add their first name, their last name, full name, headline, number of connections, number of followers, if they are open to connections. For example, if what is their address, what is the profile picture, the about section, whatever experiences they have on that on their LinkedIn profile, all the previous jobs that they had, their title, their subtitle, their education, licenses and certificates, honors and awards. All these data points and many more could be added as data points to your table. So for example, let's for the sake of this workflow, I'm interested in let's say in their about section. About section typically contains a lot of information that you can use to personalize your outreach. So I will just go ahead and add this data point as a new column to my list. It will automatically bring this data to my table so that I can use it in my personalization workflow moving forward. I can also select a couple of other data points like their experiences, and I can, let's say, add the title that they have previously had, and the company LinkedIn URL that they worked for in the past. All right. So it really gives you a lot of different options and different ideas on how you can personalize your outreach based on data you select to import to your table. And again, this workflow, the first run of the workflow will only process first 10 rows of your sheet. And in order to execute the same exact workflow for the entire list of your prospects, you would just need to run all rows that haven't run in the past. All right. Of course, that will just add the data, the default data that we have in our workflow, but you can manually then select whatever data points for newly processed prospects that you want to add into the spreadsheet and do that manually. We're working to simplify that process, to remove this manual component, and probably it will be live in a few days or so. All right, moving on to the next LinkedIn enrichment workflow. Just like I said, we can also scrape the company LinkedIn company URL. In order to do that, we will just select the company URL scraper, and we will need to select the custom company LinkedIn column that stores LinkedIn URLs of our target companies. We'll just do that and save and run first 10 rows, and we will see what kind of information that brings to us. Let's wait for a few seconds till data starts to show up, and here we go. Here we have all the results from company LinkedIn URL scraping. We have their tagline, we have the company description, we have their industry, and of course these results are not just limited to these 3 data points. By clicking this plus, and it does not charge you any more credits, you will access the entirety of scraped data points that you can add to your table. For example, the number of employees that this company has. For example, another example could be the similar organizations that are quite similar to the target company. It could be the number of followers that this company has on LinkedIn. It could be, for example, the place where this company is headquartered. For example, we're interested in the postal code of their headquarters. It could be like hundreds of different things, and we really encourage each one of our users to go ahead to explore the capabilities of this enrichment workflows. Think of ways how you can use this data in your outbound campaigns. Think of ways how you can personalize this data. Moving on to the next enrichment type, we're able to of course, scrape the most recent post of your prospects whenever available. In order to do that, we'll just select the profile post on the LinkedIn enrichment field, and we will put in the personal LinkedIn, custom LinkedIn profile as an input to this enrichment, and click Start button. Of course, some people will not be active on LinkedIn, and in these cases we will not see any information, but a lot of people, they are active on LinkedIn, and this way you will be able to scrape the content of their most recent post on LinkedIn and use that as an input to your ChatGPT personalization workflow and automatically draft the icebreaker, the first line based on the content of their recent post on LinkedIn to be included in your cold email. It doesn't end here. We're also able to scrape the most recent company posts. You will just need to select the company post workflow and select the column within your spreadsheet that contains company LinkedIn URLs, and from there on, by executing this workflow, you will be able to scrape the content of the most recent posts that their company has posted on LinkedIn. And again, you will be able to use all this data to personalize your outreach using AI integration that we have inside of Pipl. You will just put in a prompt like draft an icebreaker based on recent post of the prospect on LinkedIn. Post content, and here we will include the data that we just scraped. So that would be LinkedIn profile post that will pass the information from our table on the LinkedIn post scraped into our OpenAI, ChatGPT workflow. Start message with I liked your recent post on LinkedIn about keep it short and sweet. All right. And from there on, we will just execute this workflow, and whatever the person had the post on their timeline on LinkedIn, we will get a personalized first line based on that data. I like your recent post on LinkedIn about something that they included in that post, and that will really bring your cold email to the next level. Your prospects will really appreciate that you did your homework, researching their profile before you actually reached out. Folks, that pretty much wraps it up. Again, we just released these workflows, this functional. We will be adding more and more possibilities, ability to find your prospect's email address, ability to validate your prospect's email address, and hundreds of other different scrapers and enrichments, so you can access different bits of data and use this data to personalize your outreach even further. Go ahead, test this new functional. Let us know if you face any bugs or issues. Any ideas would be appreciated. And thank you very much for your attention. Cheers.